Lena, will you come on in for me today and see what's going on?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, hi, I'm Madison.
Hi.
It's nice to meet you.
Lena.
Yes, I believe your aunt referred you today, and we're just going to
Yes.
kind of talk and see what's going on and see if there's anything I can help you with. Maybe tell me what's going on.
Okay, so basically, I finally came out to my mother, and yeah, nothing good happened.
Well,
Nothing
taking
good,
that well.
like nothing good came from it. So we have had problems. She told the church, and of course the church tried to basically perform an exorcism on me and try to pray the demons and pray the gay out of
And
me.
you and your mother are close, obviously.
Yeah, we were,
Yes.
because apparently now I'm basically not the daughter that she raised, because she raised me better than this.
Right.
And
Right.
so it's just like she doesn't love me anymore. Like, that's how it feels.
So other than our emotional concerns and that disconnect with your mom, what are some other things that you're concerned about?
Because she hates me, like, because I'm in college right now. So once it's time for me to leave my dorm, like for the summertime, I go home with her and my dad. Yeah. And now they don't want to talk to me. So like, where am I going to stay? Like now, like since school isn't currently out yet, but finals are going to roll around soon. But like, I haven't been going home for the past few weekends.
Right.
Because I don't want to hear that. I don't have time for that.
So we're worried about that relationship with mom, worried about where we're going to stay once summer comes around. So have you looked into any kind of permanent housing close to college? I mean, close to campus, or does school, maybe offer that on-campus housing? Or do you have a roommate or anyone you're living with right now in your dorms?
Yeah, my roommate, she's really cool. I found out she's gay.
Okay.
So
does that calm and bond?
Yeah, because I was just like, hey, what?
Yeah.
So I got somebody to talk to.
That support right there.
Yeah. But as far as the housing goes, I haven't necessarily talked to the campus to see if they do that.
Because that's always an option. I know that most universities, some offer, even scholarships that would help pay for on-campus housing. Or, you're 20 now, right? So you're of age, you're an adult. So we could even look at taking a loan out from the bank, possibly for a down payment on an apartment. If your roommate, your friend wanted to come into that with you, since you two won't be living in the dorms on campus next year, you'll be branching out a little bit more as an option. If it comes to that extreme of getting you out of the house with mom, and we can't try and work on that preservation and keeping you guys all in that one family unit.
I know one of my friends, they live off campus in some apartments. It's something like a student living or something.
Okay, yeah.
So I don't know how far. I don't think it's that far, but I can ask them.
Yeah.
But I just really, I kind of wanted to stay with my mom for a little bit.
Of course.
But I'm gonna have to do what I have to do if I don't have anywhere to stay, because.
You're right. And do we have family members possibly that are, maybe a little bit more supportive than mom that we could stay with?
I talked to my grandmother, and I think she told my aunt, because my aunt started talking to me about this a little bit as well, and then clearly she did, because that's how I got in touch with that's how I got in touch with you. But they were, which is crazy, they were way more supportive than she was. And if anybody, I thought my grandma would have went off the hinges first. So.
Yes, well, that kind of supporting, having that as an option is really important. But maybe we could talk about, maybe getting mom in here to talk about if there's, any way she would be willing to do that.
Well, she's actually outside in the waiting area if you want to go get her.
Okay, I'll go out and get mom. But what's mom's name again?
I'm Karen.
Okay, perfect. I'll be back in 1 minute.
Alrighty, good luck.
Miss Karen, could we actually have you come in and speak with Lena?
Yes, of course.
Thank you. Glad to be here. Okay. Well, I'm glad that everyone's here, and Lena and I were just talking, and she has some concerns that we wanted to, voice and get out on the table. And Lena's, talked to me that she's come out as a member of the gay community, and that's not necessarily sitting well in the home right now.
Not at all.
And she's very worried about the disconnect between the two of you and the damage that this news has had on your relationship. But she's also worried about how the relationship will be when she comes home from school and it has to be faced more direct and head on. Can you express, how you're feeling about all
Well,
of this?
I think you can tell by the body language in the room right now that there is definitely some tension. I do not approve of her recent lifestyle changes.
But it's not even up to you. It's my
No,
life.
it's not up to me, but you are my child,
Mhm.
and I feel obligated to see that you live your life a certain way and that you don't make decisions that could potentially ruin your life.
How would that ruin my life? Because I fell in love with a girl?
I'm speaking more from a spiritual aspect, not necessarily that you're not bright and intelligent and doing well in school, but
Here we go.
Well, she does have, some valid reasoning points because she is your mother and does love you, and she wants to express that love in the best way that she knows how, which would be obviously wanting to nurture you. And I'm sure you've heard this all before. And as, your daughter, you clearly love her, or you wouldn't be upset about this. And I do understand and appreciate everything that you've shared, but we have to look at things from Lena's standpoint as a young adult trying to find her path in life and where she wants to go in the directions that she's choosing and the feelings she's choosing to express. You are her mother, and things that you say are influential to her, and she does love and respect you and the church and your religious values that you have instilled in her, as we had previously spoken about. But maybe we could work on expressing these things in a more sensitive way and really, being emotional with each other instead of just this, frustration that we're tending to express right now.
Yeah, because I'm only frustrated because I don't understand,
what don't you understand?
how you can basically disown me for liking who I like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I still like guys, but I just like girls too. I don't see the problem.
So you're upset with me because I don't understand how you love someone else, but you won't let me love you like a mother.
You can still love me like a mother. You just have to accept who I am and who I've become. It's not that you raised me wrong. I'm still the same girl.
And that's not something, the acceptance isn't something that can just come overnight. I'm sure this was more of a shock
Yes.
than, maybe you feel that it was to her. Because for you, these feelings may have been present for a substantial amount of time, but this was unbeknownst to her. This just happened one day as far as she is concerned. But we still need to remember that this is still your daughter who you raised, who is doing exceptionally well in school, as far as I understand, who works extremely hard at her job, who is still spiritual and still would attend church with you whenever she felt more comfortable to come home.
Yeah, because I'm not going if this is going to continue and all the other stuff before today. If that's going to continue, I will find me a new church. I will read my own Bible at my dorm.
Lena, there's no how to have a gay child handbook. This is difficult for me too. I didn't wake up one day and just know how to navigate through this. This is
It's
difficult
not that hard, but
for me
okay.
as well.
Well, you may not feel that it is that hard because, like we had said, these are your feelings, and no one can tell you how to feel a certain way, and no one can explain how you're feeling. But maybe if the two of us could agree, since clearly you're both here, you're both upset and both willing to talk about these issues, you guys want this to be resolved.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
That's
helping each other understand where you're both coming from, and like you said, helping navigate through this together. Maybe setting up some weekly sessions where we can be a little bit more educated on what's going on with, your life and your feelings, but also see where mom's coming from a little bit more. But mom, you have to be open-minded to see that this is her choice. This is who I mean, she chooses to love and to be with, and you two obviously love each other. So I feel that if we, you know, like I said, could go to some sessions and really, I mean, work on re-educating ourselves and changing how we look at things, then we could push forward.
I'm okay with that.
I mean, could we all agree?
Yeah. As long as she's willing to try.
It's because, like you said, I mean, there are different groups and support groups that, I mean, the two of you could attend together. There is actually one offered on campus called the Gay Straight Alliance. And it's,
Really?
yes, and it works on, I mean, educating people of the LGBTQ community. I mean, helping them educate people who aren't of that community, who have questions and who, you know, have, I mean, even doubts about this community, who are maybe even a little more religious. And I feel like those could really help you guys
Absolutely.
go back together as a family. But I would like to meet with you two and set up those appointments and then follow through with those for a couple of months and then maybe see you guys back in a little while and see how things are going.
Okay. So since my aunt referred you, like, are we gonna just meet here from now on again?
We would meet in my office and we would set up through, I mean, I can get insurance information from Mom and we can set up some meetings and we'll have insurance take care of billing and all things like that, and we'll come in and fill out some more formal paperwork at that time.
Okay. Well, thanks so much.
Yes,
I gotta
thanks
go.
for having us.
Thank you.
You were great.
Yes.
But I really do appreciate you for coming, Mom. I can see that you actually kind of, I guess you still love me, but it's just, you show it in a different way. So I really thank you for coming.
This is going to be something that we have to figure out, but I'm willing to make a valiant effort to figure it out.
And we have to do it together.
Absolutely.
And that's what's most important is that you guys both understand that and we're willing to take those steps in the right direction. So
Absolutely.
Thank you so
you're
much.
welcome.